driving home today. Hopefully you're having a nice, safe drive without any real problems. Let's switch this to all messages. There we go. Hi, Beth. Hi, Brandy. So I'm going to turn us down, and we're gonna look at my little fairy bottle, and then I'm gonna let you guys feed me some ideas I'm gonna give you some suggestions, and then I'm gonna let you feed me some ideas on what you think we should do with it. Now, excuse me. This is a really cute little fairy bottle, and I have a couple more of them. It's not my only one. I actually have two more fairies besides this one, and one more and a dragon. I had offered the dragon one to Randy in case she wanted to put some of Siebert's ashes into it, but she said that by her religion they had to bury him, all of him together. So that she appreciated the thought, but it wasn't going to be something she could do. So let's turn down. I'll show you my fairy bottle. Actually, you can see it right now. See, it's a fairy bottle. Isn't it cute? It's got a little fairy just like that on both sides. Hi, Anita. Hi, Sid. Hi, Dwayne. Hi, Dwayne. It's Donna. Donna? Is it Donna? I believe it is. But anyway, this little fairy bottle, actually, the little cork will come out, and you can see it's hollow inside, so you could put any number of things in here. If you wanted to put ashes in here, you definitely could do so. And so there's our fairy bottle. Hi, Leanna. Hi, Donna. So let's turn down. We'll look at it. And we'll come up with some ideas on what we want to do with it. And as I've looked at it, I've said, oh, well, I could do this, or could do that, and maybe I should do this with it. But the thing is, it does have, as you can see, it does have holes on either side here of the handles. And I've thought about this quite a bit. What do I want to do with this? And I'm thinking I want to make it into a necklace, at least this first one. But what do I want to do? How do I want to make it? We could put it on some leather. We could put it on some silk. Or we could just bead it like normal, like we normally would. But any of those options, I'm going to want to make it some big, huge jump rings. As you can see, it's got a pretty wide base here. So it's got to have, any of my jump rings I have are not going to work. I need to make it some. So we will make some big, this is one of those times when I'm going to be using round jump rings because that's the easiest to make. So that's what we're going to make. I have a little green, yellow bead over here, I just noticed. And I had been debating also hanging another little fairy down the side here. I have these cute little ones that I got from Sam's Beads. They're a little spendy, but they are cute. They're one-sided, but I was thinking of hanging one, down from the loop that we make. But I'm not sure I'm going to do that. I think it would take away, it would actually take away, I think, from our regular fairy. I do have other ceramic beads here that if we use leather, we could actually use some of these ceramic beads. We've got these rounds in this purple and then maroon. I have one orange one only. Looks like one blue one only. Couple of blacks, couple of whites, and some brown. We also have these candy striped ones. Oh, look at these, you guys. I found these in my glass in one of my Softflex orders the other day. This fish, look at this tiny little fish. Isn't he cute? It's got little speckles and everything. Fins, speckles. And I think that this one, oh yeah, he's a speckled one too. Are they all speckled? I thought two of them weren't. Nope, they're all speckled. They're cute. And then I also have little bison heads in here. Aren't they adorable? Hey, Bonnie. But we have those. Oh, this is the dragon bottle, by the way. Isn't he cool? The back side is his wings and his body wrapping around. And then the front, of course, we have his legs and his head here. And his wings are what's forming the handle. So he's pretty cool. He's in this box because this one's a little deeper than the box I normally keep these in, and he needs that depth. So I'm not really thinking on these candy stripes because, well, you know, they're candy stripes. They just don't really work with the theme of the fairy. So we either just use some large whole glass and or gemstone beads, or we don't put any beads on at all. So what I mean when I say we could put fairy silk, some silk on, and this is all fairy silk. Let's see if I have a color that would even work. So, it's a light blue, sort of purple blue. I could just go with a purple. It doesn't have to actually be the same color as the bottle, obviously. I have a few pink. So we could just put the big jump rings on and then hook the silk on. And we wouldn't even have to cut it if we didn't want to. If we make our rings big enough, we could just put it through and then go through the other side and then go up to the back. Or we could cut it and put the finding things on the back here for our jump ring. Or this is long enough, it probably could just go over your head and we could just knot our fairy silk to our loops with just a regular overhand knot. So that is one idea. Another idea is to just take some leather. Let's see, I don't want this, though this leather is really nice. Well, maybe this would work actually the best. It's the softest. It's our natural. And we could use this. And in fact, I think this will go through the holes and we wouldn't need to. We could just knot it and bring it up and around and just have that. Or we could use the leather and then put some beads on the leather. And I'm sort of leaning towards putting some beads on the leather with some beads on it. Or we could just, like I said, put the big rings on there and then hook on to beading wire and just bead it. I'm just not sure about the beading. I'm sort of leaning. I got these little bottles at a live sale from Softflex. They're $14. They were $14 a piece. I don't know if they have any left or not. I do tend to watch their live sales occasionally just to see if they have any of them, because even though they are $14, they are so special. And let's see, what else did they have? I liked the fairies and the dragons, and those are the ones I went to, but I think they had them with a big leaf, one with a big leaf across it, another with, I think with a flower, but I'm not positive. But I'm leaning towards the leather, and we can just put it in, especially because this leather actually seems to match really well with um, with where the dye isn't on the fairy bottle. But then if we do that, we have to think, what do we want as far as beads are concerned? Do we want any beads on it, or do we want to just plain leather strap? I don't think I want a plain leather strap though. So I do have some wooden beads, though they're pretty big. I'm not sure I'd want to use them. I also have some large hole pearls and various large hole glass and gemstones. So I'm thinking I like the leather with it too, though the fairy silk is very pretty. I'm just not leaning towards it, so to speak. Won't go through there. The fairy silk is pretty. I just don't, I think it overpowers the bottle. It's too bright. So because I think it's too bright, I don't want to use it. This one isn't as bright, but I'm just not leaning towards it. I'm leaning towards the leather. So if we go leather, we will probably put a knot here. And then we will, where's my straw? Straw, where are you? It seems every time I look for my straw, it's not where I thought I had it left at. Mm-hmm. Well, heck, I have 3 of them around here somewhere, but I'm not finding any of them. Really sucks. I can get another one because I have paintbrushes over there and that's where I'm getting them from, but I really just don't want to get another straw if I don't have to, when I know I have a whole bunch of them around here. Oh, well. I may have to get a new one. Oh, there it is. There it is. I knew it was here. So if we may need more leather than this to make what I want to do the barrel knot. Yes, I will. Through enough. I keep thinking this other line should have been through this other way, but let's see what we got here. Can pull this up some. Okay. There we go. So I want to do this. Got to decide how, excuse me, how long I want this. I don't want it to be too short because I don't want it way up by your neck, but at the same time, I don't want it horribly long either. So I think we'll cut it about right here. And I'm thinking I'll get some of my big ceramic beads out to start this at the bottom because they'll go over the two lines and then I'll just cut it out wherever I want it to go out. Now I'm going to do the other side right now before I cut this in half because I want to have enough line to make it be easy to do. Need more. That's not enough. Okay, come on. I have to make sure I push a lot of this line down towards the bottom since I'm using so much of it here. Of course, there's the option if when I put the things on, I can also put a hold. I can also put a extender chain on the back. Oops, that's not enough wraps. It needs one more. As most of you probably can tell, I'm not real good at barrel knots. I haven't been making them for a long time. Heather, I always used to have them fall apart on me. Heather taught me how to make them a little better so that they don't fall apart so easily, but I still have problems sometimes. Go on. Get your little tail in the straw. Now, I would advise if you want to really learn how to make a barrel knot good, that you visit one of Heather's videos that she did with barrel knots for men's stuff. For her 28 days of men's jewelry, she did such a super good job on those, and it certainly helped me learn how to make a barrel knot better. Still not perfect, but it's a lot better than it used to be when I first tried to make them, because my barrel knots would just fall apart. They wouldn't stay together like this. So it was pretty harsh. It's like I wasn't real happy. So let's see how long we ended up being now that I've got the 2 barrel knots in. And it is, oh, it's still about 22 inches. That's good. But what we're going to do now is I'm probably going to trim these down so they're the same length here. And the little extra. And then I'm going to take this and we're going to stretch it up so that we're at the middle here. This doesn't seem to be down as far as the other one is. So let's see if we can adjust those a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to cut this in half. And I need to cut it in half because we want to put some beads on. We can't put the beads on when it's not cut in half yet. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some leather crimps, and we will put leather crimps on the end, and then closure of some kind, whether that be a I mangle the heck out of these little straws when I use them. Whether that is a lobster claw with a little bit of extender chain in case you wanted to wear your bottle a little longer, or something different. See, I do have some colored beads in here. Oh, I guess. Get a couple of the brown ones out. I think that these ones are big enough that they'll go over both strands. We'll see here in just a second. Yeah, well, so we'll put those like so. And we have enough of the line left if we want to add a second one of these as well. We can. Not sure what other color I'd want to use, but I do want to get some do want to get some spacers. I do have some spacers with a big hole, a really good size hole, some silver ones, which would look really cool with that. I'm not thinking I want to use these purple ones. I just don't think they work. We could put on a maroon one maybe. Or I do have this is black. We have some more brown if we want to go that route. But I do want to go find my large hole spacers. I'll be right back. Hey Kimberly, welcome in. Now, of course, because I want them, I'm not finding them as easily as I normally would, but I do have. They're probably still not put away because some things I didn't have room for in my spacer cabinet. So there's some. Not sure these are big enough to go over both, but we can check. I would have swore I had some big star spacers with really good size holes, but of course I'm not seeing them. Of course, when I started this, there's some right there. Those might be the ones I was looking at. We can go for thin or we can go for fat. We have all kinds of them here. Hey, Tina. So we've got, like I say, all kinds of different spacers here. I'm not sure I'm going to bead far up the bottle. I'm thinking more, just part way. Half a dozen beads maybe. Come on, second strand, go up in there. Why are you bulking? Oh, I see it's got a ridge inside here, so it seems to think that it shouldn't go over that ridge. There we go. I think I like that one. We have a choice, of course, because I've got the basket ones here. Let's put a couple different ones on, and we'll see what we actually go for in the long run. This is a basket one. So I think this will still go over both. There's a basket as opposed to the rope one. And then we have this other dotted one here. If I were to use this dotted one, I'd probably want to use a multiple one because they're relatively small. So we have this dotted one as well. So let's look. Here's our basket. This is this rope. Let's pull the basket off and we'll put on this dotted. So there's the dotted. Here's the rope. And then we already looked at the basket. That's the rope. Oh, thank you, Tina. I'm glad you think so. Like I was saying, I haven't been making barrel knots very long. Every time in the past I used to make them, I would actually make them incorrectly and they'd fall apart. But Heather Aston from TT's Trinkets and Treasures was doing a men's jewelry series, 28 days of men's jewelry, and some of the things she did was the basket weaves. So she sort of taught me how to do them, and I like them a lot better. I'm thinking they look a lot better, though this one, they're opposite to, see, they got the two on and 3, but that, I guess that doesn't matter. But anyway, so here are these. We've got these. And if we were to go for this little dotted one instead, I would probably put on 3 to give it some patterning here. Let's see if they'll even go over 2. They're a little bit smaller hole than the others. Yeah, I think they might be too small of a hole to go over 2 strands. They are. They don't want to go over 2 strands. So we'll put these aside. They aren't going to work. Well, not for this spot anyway. So we've got the choice of the barrel, which I actually think truthfully is a little small as far as diameter is concerned. Or we have the rope, or put the dotted back on here. The dotted. So what do you think? Dotted or barrel? You liked the basket. Personally, I thought the basket was a little small in comparison with the big bead. It's not bad, but I think it's a little small, as you can, especially if we're going to use a second ceramic bead here, which we could use. Like I said, we have the purple, we have maroon, we have black, white, or just another brown. Maybe another brown would work best. You like the dotted, which is this one. So maybe what I should do is put another bead on here and see what it looks like with the next bead. So with the 2 brown beads, it looks like this. Let's get another brown bead out if we're going to go for brown. Oh, get out of here. Come on, go on. Okay, there it is with the basket. Here it is with the rope. your kids would say purple, 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 purple. Good gracious. So we have, your kids would say the purple. I'm just thinking the brown works better with the bottle. I mean, the purple's very pretty, but I think the brown will work better with the bottle. So we have a rope, barrel, or dotted. And my second strand is not going all the way through. It's being problematic here. There we go. Now, if I use these, if I decide to add anything more, which I probably won't. I've got some pretty yellow glass beads, but I think they're too much. I've got Where are the black? I had some black here that I thought I had dropped right down in here, but maybe I did not because I'm not seeing them. Guess not. They're not there. Strange. You think you stick stuff someplace and it just isn't there. But I'm thinking that may be where we leave off. The basket gets lost. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. It's too small. So so we're not going to go for the basket. And we've got the choice of these two. And I'm going to cut this down a little bit because this strand keeps poking out here. I don't want it poking out. So we're going to cut it down some. So we have the choice of the dotted or the rope. Now, if I put more beads on here, I'm going to put like 3 of these little guys here, maybe just 2, to taper it up some to where we would put the next one on. Let's see what it looks like with this side with 2. Then I might find another bead, smaller bead to put on the top. Like I said, if my black was still here, I don't know where the little black ones went to. I thought they were right here, but they do not appear to be. I hate it when I know I put something somewhere, but it's not there when I go looking for it. So anyway, we've got this side like this, or this side like this. And of course, we're going to do the, where are they? Come here, babies. Crimp tube to finish it. Need 2 crimp tubes. There's 2. They're stuck together. And now there's one on the floor. I do seem to love to throw my things on the floor, don't I? So anyway, these would, of course, go down on the end to finish it up. Which side do you think, guys? You think it needs some color? These brown beads, I got these from Softlex. They're called their porcelain large hole beads. Yeah, it could use some color, but I don't want purple. I don't like the purple with the bottle. I just don't. If I had another one of the navy blue ones, no, I don't even really like the navy blue. I'm being persnickety. Sorry, guys. Oh, I do have another navy blue one. It's just darker blue. Weird. See, slightly darker. But I'm thinking the browns from match with my leather and the fairy bottle best when it comes right down to it. If I had sort of a teal like green, I might go for that. But I don't. So, or maybe a different blue. But I think I'm liking this, but I'm just not sure which one of our middle ones we want to go with. This one or this one. I think they both would work. I myself am leaning more towards this one, but Well, let's see what it would look like if I just pull the brown off entirely and we put on one of the other colors, like the purple. Actually, that's not bad with the purple and the maroon. What do you think? You know, which way we want to go? Which way do we want to go, folks? With the purple and maroon or with the brown? Either way, I think will work. I wasn't sure about the purple, but now that it's on there, I don't mind it. So which way do we want to go? Brown or purple and maroon? Or we could even go two purples if we wanted to do two purples. So I think that might be a little too much. Brown or purple and maroon? Kimberly likes the purple. I know Leanna liked the purple because she was going purple, purple, purple. So purple and maroon. Actually, it's lavender if we want to be really technical. Lavender and maroon or browns. You know, I was leaning towards the browns, but now that we've got the lavender and maroon on there, I'm actually sort of leaning towards it. It's almost like it adds some zip to it, if you know what I mean. You like the purple too, Maisha? So let's take out the browns. I think we've decided we're going with the purple and maroon. And we still have to decide on this middle bead. Do we want the rope or do we want the dotted? There's the purple back on. Here is our rope. And the maroon. Now that puts those up there. White. So there we go. We pretty much decided we're going to go with the purple and the maroon with our bottle. Now we just have to make the final decision on our middle bead here with the dots or the rope. Personally, I'm leaning towards the rope. I'm going to bring it up closer to the camera so you can see this is the rope over here and this is the dots over here. So, like I said, I am leaning towards the rope, but what does everybody else think? Brandy likes the dotted. Tina likes the dotted. So we're going with the dotted? Okay, we can do that. Don't we just love beating committee? Now Anita likes the rope better. Now Anita, I'm with you. I sort of liked the rope better, but most other people seem to like the dotted better. So come on, baby, go on there. So there is the dotted back in place. And then we will put these two on. They'll go on like this. And then I'm probably just going to seal it off with a crimp tube or a crimp cover here. Though if I would have swore I put my little black beads over here, and of course I'm not seeing them now that I want them. I do have, oh, these are pretty. These are really pretty. Let's see about these. These are little variegated blue and green, so we're going to add a lot more color, and it's actually going to match the bottle better. Ta-da. And then we would put the crimp cover here, I think. Just a moment. I think I have some of these that are a little more greenish colored, which would match our bottle better. So I'm going to go see if I can find those. Though the dotted does match our little extra dotted ones there better, obviously. So just a second, I'll be right back. See, these are a little bit more the bottle color here than this deep blue. Okay, we got one more vote. You like these lighter colored ones that I think matches the bottle better, or you like this darker one? I think this one matches the bottle better. This one adds another color. So it's a sort of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other as far as I'm concerned, which one we go for. You like the darker one, Beth. This one. You know, you like that one better. You when you say lower, you mean this one, Kathy? Maisha likes the darker. Now, to me, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I like this one because it does match the bottle better. I like this one because it brings it adds another dimension to the colors. So, you know, it's like I say, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other to me. Anita likes the lighter one. So we have 2 darkers and 2 lighters. Hold it up closer. Though I do see some of these darker colors right here in this, you know, that are like this. So Donna's saying lighter. Tina's saying lighter. Maisha's still saying darker. Beth's still saying darker. You know, like I said, it's one of those 6 of one, half a dozen of the other things. This one does match the bottle pretty much because it's got the light green in it that's in here. It also has the blues in it that's in this one. This has that greens right here in it. And when it comes right down to it, there's darker blues right here by her wings and up here. So either one works really well. So I think it's one of those eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Sid likes the lighter. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to... Now this is going to be my right or my left. Choose one side or the other. And I'm not going to show you what it is. White. No, Brandy, there's no white. We're not going to do white. Right or left? I don't care who picks. Somebody pick right or left. Come on. Somebody pick right or left. Left. Beth says left. Okay, so this is my left. It's the darker one. So we're going with darker. This was one of those I don't care ones. So we're going to just do it arbitrarily. So that's the way it's going to go. There's our darker. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take and push our beads down. And we're going to take, I still need to find another pair of crimping pliers. I threw the other ones away. They were driving me nuts because the spring was broken. So take this crimp cover and we're going to push our beads down, and then we're going to put our crimp cover right here at the edge of our beads. And it has to go all the way on. Come on, don't fight with me. Go on. Okay. And then we're just going to squish it. Now our crimp cover has become another bead, but it's going to hold our beads that we have in place. Okay, down you go, push. Now, this is a really good way to end your leather if you want to keep your beads from sliding around, is get a crimp cover that matches the size of your leather. It works perfectly. So now they're not going anywhere. And there's our fairy bottle. So now we just need to put our leather ends on. What are you grumbling about, Rory? I love him. He does so love to grumble. So we have these now. Now we just need to get our leather ends. Where are you, leather ends? Oh. Other than half buried here in my... Okay. Well, we're going to want one of these anyway, so we'll get one of these. Well, we'll get the... I always test to make sure they're working because sometimes they're not. That one seems smaller. It is smaller. Weird. I like bigger. A spring in there can break, and then it will either A, stay closed where you can't get it to open, or B, it opens and you can't get it to close. Let's face it, I'd rather have it so it closes. Let's see, those are my magnetic clasps. As are these. I don't need a bail. Here, come here, you. That's what we need. I wish I could put everything right beside me, but unfortunately everything won't fit right beside me. I think these ones might be too big. Let's see. Go in way too easy. How about you guys? Okay, that one works. Always seems one will work and the other one doesn't want to on the other side for some reason. Sometimes I think it's the leather. But let's see. How about... Okay. Now I have my Fairy Festival coming up next Friday. Well, setup's next Friday. The festival itself is on Saturday and Sunday. And I'm sure hoping my leg decides to not give me any crap for the show, which is unfortunately a possibility. There, that one went right in with no problem. My skinny little pliers. And we'll squish this side here. See, I'm going to squish this middle section right here. See how it's got this little sort of cutout place? That is where you want to squish it down at. So there's that one. I am going to take and make a slight cut on that to hopefully keep it from fighting going in here. Oh, it didn't fight me at all. In fact, it went way easily. So anyway, if you can see it, there's a little middle part of these, and you go your pliers and you squish. Then you turn it and squish the other side. Now you turn it and squish both sides like that because you know, your pliers squish more to one side than the other, so you want to make sure you get both sides. So there they are, squished down in. And we're done with the glue. So we'll let these dry for a few moments, and then we'll put our lobster claw on, and if we want to, we can put some extender chain on. Thank you. I'm glad you think so, Leanna, that it's pretty. Do I prefer a brand of crimp covers? I order these from Randy. I had her get them specifically for me, a slightly larger size. I'm not even sure what the size is, to be truthful with you. They're 5 when they're squished down, so I'm not sure what their original size is, but and I don't think it says on the package. But yeah, I had Randy pick these up for me. I told her I didn't want the little ones. I wanted the next size up. So they were $11.75 for the package. Let's see if they're different size, what the size is when they're open. I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know which way they measure them from, whether they're when they're open or when they're closed. When they're open, they're 7s. They're 7 millimeters when they're open, 5 when they're closed. So I don't know if that makes a difference or not. But yeah, Randy got these for me for Taylor Falls, and they're $11.75 for, I think there's 100 of them in here. So okay. Oh, I forgot I had these pretties too I could have used, but they're pretties, and I think I would have wanted something more, they're actually crystal spacers. Silver and gold crystal spacers, which have a real good sized hole, as you can see. So those would work with the leather too, easily. So something to think about. I was looking for my other pliers, and I know I have like 5 or 6 sets of them. And I know that 2 or 3 are in my travel bag, but I should have had a couple of extras. And Could I find them yesterday? No. I'm going to have to keep looking, I guess. So. And like I said, when I go to a craft fair, I'll take some chain with me that has a open enough links that I can put extender on any of these things that I need to if people want them to be longer. So definitely something to always think about if you're doing craft shows and you're doing stuff that you might want to have a little longer, is to have some, like for anklets, even bracelets and necklaces, always have some chain that if you've got lobster claws at the end that will fit in so that you can extend them. So there we are. There's our little fairy bottle. And like I said, the fairy bottle will open, and the cork will come out. Come on, baby. I pushed it in there pretty tight. I didn't want it to come out. Let's see if I can get it to come out again now that, there we go. See, it's a good size cork, and it's hollow bottle. So you can put other things in it. As I said, I was going to give Randy my dragon bottle, and so if she wanted to put Sievert's ashes in it to it, or at least part of them, so that she could always have them with her, she could do that, but she said that by her religion, they had to bury all of him, so they could not do that. So she couldn't do that. So that was sort of, I was sort of sad for that, because I thought, well, you know, it would be nice for her to be able to have a little of him with her. But anyway, there is our fairy bottle all finished. And per usual, we're here for over an hour. So let's turn, and hopefully my dang tripod will behave today. Come on. Looks like it's going to good, baby. And so there it is, all completed. Isn't she pretty? I think I'm pretty glad that I went with Leanna's purple, 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 purple. So I think it turned out really nice. And I think the choice of beads ended up being quite good. So I'll have to figure out this baby's price for taking it to the show this next weekend. Like I said, the little bottles were $14 a piece. So not a cheap date, but they are so cute. I'm going to lower this a little bit more because I keep leaning back and then you can't see me. So anyway, yeah, she's turned out quite nicely. I did not measure it, did I? Let's see what she ended up being as far as length is concerned. Oh, well, it looks like 22, because we're not quite to the end of my... So, yeah, about 22. So, adding the blue was perfect, you think, Leanna? Yeah, I think it turned out really nice. Now, I would have been fine with the lighter bluish green color, too. I think it would have matched the bottle really nicely. However, like I was mentioning, the bottle does have the darker blue through around her wings and such. Mainly because, you know, this is a ceramic piece that has been, what is the color when you put the color on? I know it, but I can't. But the glaze has, the darker blue glaze has dropped into here. This is probably just one color of glaze, but because it's thinner and in some places and heavier in others, it changes the colors. So I think it turned out really pretty. Now, This is actually one of the, this is going to be, of course, sold. It's very gorgeous, but I think it is going to be sold. And I'll have to figure the price. Like I said, the fairy bottle itself is $14 all on its own. So it's going to really raise the price up. Sometimes when I have a component that's really expensive like that, I will make sure I do it by time, because let's face it, if I took added everything up and did multiplied by the 4, because that fairy bottle is a lot more expensive, it's going to really chunk up the price. Whereas if I do it by time, well, it might not make that much difference, because I would do cost of materials times 2 plus my time. We've been at this for over an hour, so I would definitely go for the hour charge, which would be $30. So 2 more times on the bottle is going to be 28. So, you know, it might end up being about the same price in the long run. I'll have to see. This one is definitely one that will get priced to go, though. So, and another thing I've been thinking of doing for my shows is having some kind of little prizes. You know, just putting something together with, you can choose, you know, a piece of paper and see what it says. And it might say a $10 gift certificate, or it might say you can get a little, one thing I'm thinking of doing is, I have somewhere, I got to find them if I can find them in time. I have these tiny little bottles, and they're smaller than these. These are about the size I use for other things, but they're pretty small. I deserve a raise. 35 seems more reasonable. Well, thank you, Georgina. Anyway, as you can see in this bag here, these are raw Montana sapphires. And I was thinking of taking and putting 2 or 3 in one of my little bottles, and then wire wrapping the neck of them so that they have a loop. So if a person wanted to, they could put them on a chain. Now, I did have a gentleman suggest to me that I should just do that with just bottles, and just sell just the little bottles, or the bottles with the chain, because he says there's a lot of people that want something like that for putting some ashes in, even if it's just a few ashes of a loved one. And I've been considering it, but I haven't done it. I haven't leaned towards it enough, if you know what I mean. So okay, I missed something, because Leanna says I used to be Beth, and I don't think you used to be Beth. Oh, all you managers agreed that I need a raise, so I'm gonna get, so I should go up to $35 an hour. Okay, good to know. Oh boy. Well, now that we finished this, and I really love it, I think it turned out really nicely, and I appreciate everybody's input, income. Income into my input too. Input into my income. Let's get our tongue straight here. I am going to see if I can find the little bottles. We may see about making those next week. Some little bottles for like I said, a few of my sapphires or something like that. And but I need to decide how I want to do my little prize things. I was thinking I might go to the dollar store or something and see if I could find like a whole bunch of stickers or something like that, and we could just I could just have a dish of stickers, because let's face it, the kids love stickers. Or I could just do some way of something to open up, maybe just little tiny envelopes or something, and so you could have something. It might just have a saying like "Have a great day," or "I hope you're doing well today," or something like that. But then it also might have a prize on there, like you get to pick out something from my sales bowl, or you need to get to pick out you get to have a little bit of a sapphire bottle, or something like that, just to have pull in that little bit, you know. That's a good idea for as someone who's got a few cremated family members. I do too. My dad, I have ashes from my dad that is in my camera bag. So if I'm going anywhere to do photography, then my dad goes with me. He was always my biggest believer in my camera, in my photography. So that's always something I think about. So, and I think that what I have as far as ashes are concerned for him would fit in this bottle. So, it is something I was thinking about when I bought these bottles, that they would work for great that. So, anyway, it's 20 minutes after, and I have to record the video for tomorrow. And in case anybody's wondering, I am going to record for tomorrow um, a Softflex video. Let's see, do I have the pieces here? And I'm going to make, where is the bag? Better not have disappeared. I need it. What I'm going to make, there it is a pair of earrings. If you haven't seen the Softflex kit, it's a fabulous flamingo for this month. Month is almost over, and they had some, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see the flamingo charm here? But I'm going to take this charm, and as you can see, I have all kinds of little flowers and leaves and things in here. And I am going to wire wrap the flowers and leaves to the flamingo. I also have a hexagon piece here. See it right there. And we're going to do some of the flowers and leaves onto that as well. That will be our project for Softflex. I'm debating doing a couple of other things too, like a bar necklace and possibly some earrings. We'll see what I decide to do. Anyway, I will be pricing this necklace to go into my craft stuff, because it's going to go with me for my fairy show next week, and very definitely. And so and then we need to make some more fairy ears. So there's a few odds and ends things I need to make, and hopefully you guys will come along with me when I make some of these things. So we'll see you all later. Have a great weekend. I will have the video up for Softflex video up for tomorrow, if you want to see that. Of course, for members, you'll get it sometime today, because I'll finish it today. And so, and I will try to find my little bottles so that we can make some little bottles next week. And I hope you all had a lovely time with me today. I appreciated all the input into my fairy bottle. I know that I overrode some of you guys' ideas, because I did decide to go with the leather, and I think it turned out really nicely. And but I went along with a lot of your ideas, like Leanne's purple, and it turned out really nice with that purple in there, and the dotted spacers, and I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased. I think it turned out really, really lovely. So anyway, we're going to go, and I will see you all Monday if I don't see you sooner. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden. Bye-bye.